Hi, good morning. How is everyone today? It's Friday, and I'm competing with the landscaper outside, but I didn't want to close the window because he's probably going to be done almost momentarily in this area right here. So, how is everyone today on this Friday in the Matrix work week? It's October 14th. Oh my goodness, what's going on? Did everyone tune into their heart today and see how you're feeling? What were your dreams last night? What was your intention this morning? When you woke up, what was the first thought you had? And are you having a good intention, which is a commitment to do our best? So, anyone who's joining us, please like the video if you so want to, and subscribe to the channel. I'm Mary Amy, and this is Living in the Light, and I'm all about shifting away darkness, guiding you to your truest potential, and cracking open the beautiful glowing light in your heart. So today we're going to cover topics like acceleration, universal laws, and love. Hey, Shelly, I'm glad I caught you live. I'm from Utah. Okay, Shelly, so glad you found us. I hope you liked the video and subscribe to the channel. Shelly Hall. What a cool name you have. So I'm in New York. I'm 45 minutes outside of Manhattan. I live in a suburb. So there is green grass and nature by my home, and there is actually water. I live close to Long Island Sound. And so I can go to a boardwalk and I can see water. And that's probably one of the reasons why I constantly am saying to you, if you have some sad feelings, low vibrational emotions, anger, hate, sadness, fear, go to a body of water. Maybe you want to cry it out, talk it out, and send it out to the water. The water will take it away from you and you will release it from you. Or you can journal it. You can write down exactly how you're feeling, and it's very cathartic. It runs through your hand, and you write down exactly what's going on. Get a little composition book and journal. And that's a way of releasing. Sometimes, hey, Deanna, thanks for joining us. Oh, I heard from Deanna this morning on the YouTube. She was writing comments and she told me how her daughter had seen my videos as well. Well, thanks everyone. So we have Deanna who's coming from Michigan, and we have Shelly from Utah. Well, welcome to the fifth dimension. Hi, we've all ascended. Have you awakened from your slumber and you realize there's another reality? So you're from a pack of rebels like I am, not the rebels that create havoc out there, the rebels that believe there's another reality. Did you wake up from the matrix and say, 2 plus 2 is not equaling 4, it's equaling F? Well, I did. I had a spiritual awakening. Maybe you're having a Kundalini awakening, or you just have been someone who's looked at everything and said, that doesn't really make sense, does it? And I'm not really having that much fun. We were all pushed into these structures and these systems in the three-dimensional physical world, this reality that we've been living in, where everything's about stuff. How much stuff do you have? What do you look like? And what's your job? And if those three weren't of the right criteria for everyone else, for the masses, then everyone was very critical of you. And you felt like you weren't popular. I don't care if I'm popular. I don't care if people like me. I just care about my heart and your heart, and telling you that you're worthy and you're a beautiful being of light. So here we are in the fifth dimension. Welcome. And it's all about love. And it's about personal happiness. It's about reaching your destiny, keeping your eye on the prize, taking a quantum leap, which is a sudden change, a sudden burst that you're going to get there. And how do you reach your destiny? Well, we know that you have to let out a breath. You have to let go of any old thought beliefs. That sack of attachments that you've had, and it's been attached to you and you've been giving it life, and it's all about the systems, the government, the medical, the education, and like I said, who you are, what you do. We're cutting that tube off and leaving it on the side of the road. We don't want any. Hey, Alexandra Morel, thanks for joining us. We don't want any of those attachments. They're not helping us. That's someone else's destiny. That's someone else's belief. You have all the answers within you. In your heart and your spirit, you were born with it all. Now you're going to carry a vibration, a frequency, and that's how you're going to attract certain people, places, and things into your life, opportunities, and what you're meant to have in your life. Because if we conform to the masses, isn't that someone else's destiny? Because in my being, in my vessel, in my mind, heart, and spirit, I know what's right for me. I have discernment. So if something isn't right for me, I say, heck no. And I say we have an invisible line that surrounds us 12 inches from our body, and we imagine it, and no one's allowed to come into our space physically, emotionally, mentally, and physically unless we give permission. We can say no. We can say that's unacceptable. Nope, sorry, it's not right for me. And you're allowed to say that. So, did you tune into your heart today? And how are you feeling? Now, we're all receiving a lot of new energies that are coming through to us because there's more light coming from the sun, the solar flares. Now, are we going to wait for the solar flash or some kind of big disclosure that's going to happen? Now, the extraterrestrials will make themselves visible or some kind of prophet? No. Guess what? We're going to have personal power within us. We have that. We have that. And we have all of our gifts that we were born with. We have extrasensory perception. We are intuitive beings. And we're going to master whatever that is. We are in telepathy school. We are in Earth school now. So on this new Earth Gaia, when I say the fifth dimension, the three-dimensional world to the fifth dimensional, are we going someplace? Are we traveling to another physical reality? No. It's just our mindset. It's coming from a new perspective, a new perception. And that perception is all about unity, service to others, unconditional love. We have love for each other. We have hope. We want good things for each other. And why is that? Well, because there's the law of one. There's the law of one, which is we are all connected. So I'm connected to you. I'm connected to the landscaper out there, the tree out there, my neighbors. So I am living in the world of the 5D, which is we all leave our homes. We welcome each other. We say hello when we walk outside. And we all want good things for each other. Now, we spoke about divide yesterday, and we spoke about conflict. And we spoke about how there's this big divide going on. And why is that? Why is there so much divide? Well, I think sometimes people go to a debate where they want to have an argument. And why do they want to have an argument? Why? You wonder why. Well, my perception is that they have pain in their heart. And so they're channeling their anxiety, their hurt, and their pain into a debate. So maybe the debate comes out in the physical world as politics. And so there's two sides. However, we know how much of this gets accomplished, and doesn't it just circle around? It's crisis, crisis, crisis. I'm so tired of all these crises. Why are people so unsatisfied? Why can't they just understand it comes from within? It's our thoughts, our words, and our actions, and that's the reality we create. And so when we say our thoughts are very powerful, it's because they carry a vibration. So we create the physical reality by our thoughts. So when we all have the same thought, that's how we create the physical reality. Now you can have all the same thoughts, and it can be in the matrix, in the linear world, in the structures, the 9 to 5, work, task, time, rush. And when do you get your peace? When you retire after 40 or 50, 60 years, and then you have you're a robot, and then you have a few years, and then you pass away, and then they all say how wonderful you were. That's not a lot of fun. Is that why we were born and incarnated on this earth? How come that's going on? Who thought of all of that? That reality doesn't seem very much fun to me. I'm all about fun now. Well, who do you think created it? Well, let's see. The most important thing in this linear world is materialism and money. So it's probably it's those who have all the money. They're the leaders, and they're telling us what to do. And we've been enslaved. We've been living in a prison. So I'm breaking out of the prison. I'm cutting off the attachments, and all of the structures are going into the dumpster. And I'm in the 5 dimension. So welcome, here we are. And here's my little puppy dog. Elsa's sleeping down here. You can't hardly see her because she looks like the little pillows. And so that's why I'm here. I'm all about helping and healing. And I'm telling you that you're worthy. So let's accept ourselves. Let's allow ourselves to have another mindset. So if anyone who's joining me, please tell me in the chat any dreams you had last night. So I had a dream last night, and it was related to someone in my past or leaving my life. And it definitely felt as though I was in the astral realm, and I was trying to be pulled back into, guess what? The matrix. But it's too late now. It's too late. I can't be pulled back. Because why? I've seen everything. I see all the evil, the spiritual war that we've been engaging in, and these lovely, beautiful, angelic beings, these celestial beings of light, have been aiding us. They're warriors, they're messengers. They guide us. They guide us to our destiny. And these beings of light are here for us to protect humanity. And so now that we've kind of gotten through a lot of the evil, and the evil is leaving and diminishing, we have to acknowledge that there is going to be some sense of loss. You're going to feel a little bit like something's not with you anymore. And I'm feeling that. Like I have little bouts of feeling like I have to cry, and I don't know why. And it's because all these energies are coming on, and it's good. It's good. So I'm saying accept it. But brace yourself that change is coming, transition. It's going to be a good transition. And before you know it, all the programming, all the mind control that you've had since you were born into this linear earth, this linear world, all this physical reality, the mind control is going to just diminish. And guess what? Like that, you're going to see this new reality, and this new reality is about compassion and love and hope. So today we're going to cover topics like acceleration, the universal laws, and love. And of course, I'm going to mention psychic phenomenon. And instead of doing a visualization, if I have time, I want to just talk and kind of cover meditation, because meditation is very important about doing a deep deep breathing, and about going into a deep state, a very calming and peaceful state. So, acceleration. So why am I bringing up the word acceleration? Because it seems as though time is moving a little bit faster. And if you look out there, now I don't watch the news, maybe you do. I feel as though when I watch the news, I'm getting some kind of negative frequency, and it just brings on a lot of anxiety and stress, because it is crisis, fear. It's fear-based. It's about telling us what we should be scared of. I choose love and hope. But acceleration. So there's been an increase increase and a doubling down from the evildoers, from the black hats, from the dark forces. Because why? Like I say, they're the cat out on the windowsill, because they're scared of being defeated. Now they've already been defeated in the spiritual realm, in the angelic realm. Evil is already gone. It just has to show itself in the physical realm, which hasn't happened yet. It takes time. It doesn't happen overnight. It has to show itself. And also, there's more awakening souls, more awakening beings like us. So when people awaken out of their slumber and they're like, oh my goodness, I'm awake now. What is this world? Oh my goodness, it doesn't have to be rush, time. And I don't have to get knocked around and people aren't stepping on my head. I can live in love. I can say, it doesn't matter what I look like. It doesn't matter what job I have or how much stuff I have. I'm great just as is because I'm a sacred being of light. So this acceleration that's going on right now, brace yourself for it because it's going to get a little bit worse. It's going to get a little bit worse. So the rate of change, the speed and direction is going to take off. The agenda is trying desperately to hold on to the matrix. So it's going to be a little bit tough for a while. I'm not saying have any fear. It's going to be okay. I'm just saying be aware. You probably see it if you look out into what's going on the television or the social media. You see some of these really strange videos, very, very alarming, which we don't know if they're real or not. Are they CGI? Are they actors? Are they crisis actors? What is that? I don't know, but some of it's really strange, and some of these people are hitting each other and hurting each other, and I don't know why. I don't know what context they're coming from. I don't know if they're old videos and they're just trying to scare us, but what I'm trying to say is we're going to see more of this, and it's a way to desensitize us, and it's also a way of controlling us. I'm tired of being controlled. You're not going to control my thoughts anymore. They're mine. That's why we talk about and we discuss psychic phenomenon and being aware of your thoughts and someone else's. Because we were programmed. We have been programmed. Like I say, who told you to make your bed in the morning? Who told you there's 3 meals a day? How come there's not 6 or 1? Who made that up? Who made up all these rules that we're living by? There's another reality. So this hurrying, this quickening, this advance, this growing, progressing, this acceleration, it's going to happen on both sides. It's not going to just happen on the evil side. It's not going to just happen on the good side. It's going to happen on both sides. Because as evil is accelerating and doubling down, they're actually awakening. They're awakening others. They're showing them what their hand is, like in a game of cards. You play a game of cards, maybe you play poker and you're like, don't look at my cards. They're showing all their cards. And why? It's because they're desperate. So just be aware. Now this new shift that's coming is actually prompting them to double down and advance. This new shift of ideas, energy, the new earth that's here that I speak of. In this moment, we are making history right now. We are pioneers. We're the first ones. You've been awakened. We're only at 10%, maybe a little bit beyond. We have to get to 90. So can you imagine in 6 months what it's going to be like? People are going to be asking you, what is awakening? I have all these ascension symptoms. I'm ascending to a higher consciousness, a higher dimension, a higher vibration. I feel not myself, and you won't. You're not going to feel like yourself. I don't feel like myself. I feel like a new version of me. And what's happening? All the old stuff is leaving. The characters in my life, the people, the individuals that were toxic, gone like that. They just disappeared. They're not attracted to me anymore because all I speak about is how great everything is. And I'm positive. And they don't want to be around that because they want to live in lower vibrational energies. Like, oh my gosh, everything's horrible. Oh, I hate that person. That person's, and they just want to say a lot of negative stuff and injure other people. Now, whether they injure people with their thoughts, their words, and their actions, it's still the same thing. It's low vibrational. It's toxic. So be aware that it might come through your family, your friends, maybe a group that you're part of. You're not going to really resonate with it anymore. And they might not resonate with you until they awaken from their sleep. We're getting our memory back. All of our abilities are coming back online. So imagine here we are, we're born, and then we are basically compressed. All of our emotions and our feelings were not really accepted. It was like, don't do that. You have too much emotion. You're too sensitive. Here's some medication. Or are you a daydreamer? Why are you dreaming? What are you dreaming about? Because why wouldn't I want to daydream? Who wants to be in the physical reality of the matrix? It's really a bummer. It's very, very depressing. Why do you think there's so many depressed people? Because they're not allowed to have their emotions, their feelings, and it's really uncomfortable. Think about some of the costumes and wardrobe that we've worn through the years. Button-up shirts, it's like cold. It's like choking you, button down everything. You're stiff all the time. There's no freedom. Where's free will? Free thought. We're sovereign beings. That's one of the universal laws. We are allowed to have our own thoughts. Now, when we don't express ourselves, what happens? We start to not feel so good, right? And so where do we put that? Oh, we put it over here. We stuff it down inside of us. Maybe we write it in a diary. What's a diary for anyway? Diary's for to express your emotions and your thoughts. Why? Because we're not really allowed to out here in the physical reality. We haven't been allowed to express our thoughts. And if we do, we're like, oh, I didn't say that. Oh no, it was them over there. We have to conform. Who's making all these decisions about who we're supposed to be? We're allowed to be whoever we want. I'm going to be whoever I want. I'm going to have my own thoughts. No one's going to tell me where to stand or who to be or what to do or what to have. And guess what? If you're watching the television, you're a customer. It's all marketing. It's advertisement. It's all bought. It's all paid for. It's supposed to just be entertainment, the television. If it's not fun for you, if you're turning it on and it's making you sick to your stomach, are you addicted to feeling that way? Are you addicted to like a racing heart and anxiety? Got to get out of that. Wake up. Be in this moment. Let go of all those attachments. So here's the beginning of light in this moment. You're making history in this moment. Hi, Tommy. Thanks for joining us. Hello. Can you hear my gardener outside? Or our gardener? I know it gets a little loud from time to time, but I'm not closing the window because I want nature. I want nature. So it's the beginning of light. Here we are in this moment, making history. It's a gift to us. The sun is a gift. Get out there, spend time in nature. It's really good for your health. It lowers your heart rate, lowers your blood pressure, and also it frees up your mind. So much growth is about to occur. Where's that cute couch puppy? Elsa's over here. You want to see Elsa? Here's little Elsa right here. You can't see her because she's among all the pillows. Hey, who's that? Oh, it's Lillian. Lillian from Texas. Oh my goodness. So we have Lillian from Texas today. We have Shelly Hall from Utah. We have who else? Tommy from the country. And who else was here today? Deanna from Michigan. Okay, so here we are. It's the beginning of light. We've all joined together, and I'm sharing light with you, and you're sharing light with the next person, and I'm probably going to close the window because that's just too loud. Oh my goodness, so much activity this morning. And Alexandra from New York. So, now, our frequency, I speak of our frequency, and so your frequency is really dependent on what kind of thoughts you have, what kind of speech you have, what kind of actions you have. So if you're coming from a place and you're more on the positive realm, your frequency is going to attract those that are more positive and more uplifting energies. So that's why I say it's fine to have low vibrational emotions like sadness, fear, anger for a moment. It's when we take it on for too long, what happens? We start to feel sick inside, we start to not feel well, and as you age, you can't really get rid of it so easily. So we want to accept all of that. We want to accept all of that. We want to go to whatever memory brought that on. So if you have pain in your heart today and you tuned in and you said, oh my gosh, I don't feel well. Why? You're the only one who has that answer. You have to decipher what's going on within you. You're the only one who can figure it out. Like, we can go to that original memory that made you sad, and you want to look at it and you want to say, okay, and you want to let it go. You can embrace it and love yourself and accept yourself for everything. If you have shame about something, if you feel as though you did something in the past that wasn't good, you have to accept that. If it was naughty, you have to accept that and get through it to the other side. That's how it is. You're not gonna ascend, you're not gonna have higher vibrational energies unless you accept all of yourself for all of your junk. Everything that you did and was done to you, you must accept to ascend and be and remain in the fifth dimension. Now, sometimes we have 1 foot in the fifth dimension, 1 foot in the fourth dimension or the third dimension because we're transitioning. And you can't go back, unfortunately. When you leave the matrix, you really can't go back. What does this say? This is what I am working on. Really? Fantastic. So, we're here in the beginning of light, so welcome. Our frequency will act as an accelerator. Without effort in this new reality, you won't remain here. You're going to be going back and forth. Now, as you go through some of your issues and as you have these ascension symptoms, you're kind of in a transition. But you're okay. It's part of the process. And I say, dark night of the soul, which is where you start to have all of these memories from the past and they come forward and you have to deal with them. But they're a memory, they're an emotion, they're not real, they're not concrete. They only can hurt you if you let them. That's why I say embrace fear. Now, if some kind of negative energy comes into you, maybe it's a thought, maybe you have a dream and some kind of really scary, monster-esque being comes through, or someone all dressed in black and they have evil energy, don't go combat them. Don't combat them. What do I say? This only builds on. This is like a debate. You want to send it love. You want to imagine hugging it and it will leave. Because low vibrational energies do not like love. So that's one way out of it. It sounds really simple, but it works. So anyone who's joining us, please like the video and subscribe to the channel so others can find us. I'm a new channel. I have like 215 or 200, I forget how many it is subscribers, but I'm trying to build my channel. So anyone who's joining us, please like this channel and subscribe to the channel and like the video if you want to. I'm Mary Amy. You can find more information about me at my website, maryamyofficial.com. Okay, so our spirits and hearts know all and will lead us. So if you're fearful and you're saying, well, I'm taking a big risk leaving the matrix and this new reality and this higher consciousness, I'm going to tell you that you have everything within you. So as you leave and you accept more and more of this, I mean, every single day that passes, I'm receiving more and more of me, the original me. We have this within our DNA. We will get memories back that we never had. And I'm not talking about this incarnation. I'm not talking about this lifetime. You will have memories from the past. You also start to have foggy memories of maybe you from another star system, maybe from another incarnation, another lifetime. Now, you might be here and you might start to ascend and awaken to this higher consciousness, this new perception, this new reality, new Earth Gaia. You might start to feel like you're missing something, like you're not at home anymore. Like this isn't home and you're not going to feel like you belong here. And I've gone through that. Now, I never really felt like I belonged here. I never felt like I belonged in the family that I was born into. I never felt like I was mattered. And part of that was from my birth parents. And part of that was how I felt as a being here, because I just never fit in. And so I've kind of grown thank you for sharing that, you too. She also said that she didn't feel like she belonged. And so I never felt as though I belonged. And they say a black sheep. And I like to say a dark horse, because a dark horse is the least candidate to win the race. They're the one that has the handicap. Is it a handicap? I'm not really sure about what horse racing is, but the dark horse, and horses are cherished in many cultures. And so I consider myself a dark horse. Now, I also remind you that as you become more aware that there's another reality, another way of thinking, this new fifth dimension that we're kind of waking up to. And it's very exciting because we are creating it with our thoughts. Imagine if you're able to create this new reality, because all the old stuff is collapsing. And so we are together going to create this new reality. And what would it be for you? And that's the reality it's going to become, because our thoughts are that powerful. We will create this new physical reality. So our memories, our abilities will come online. So acceptance is needed. We must accept this. We must have a willingness to accept this and have no doubt. Leave doubt behind. Take away your critical thinking, your reasoning, and just go in your senses and tune in that way. So there'll be moments of doubt, and it's going to be released, and it will be final. There'll be no worry. Please have no worries about the outcome. The outcome is going to be perfect. This is the right timeline. We're on the good timeline. Hi, Ian KKK. How are you? Have you joined us before? Where are you coming from? Oh, my voice just went very high. Oh, have you joined us before? I hope you liked the video and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for joining us. So we have realized that evil has accelerated and doubled down because they're hanging on the windowsill. And they're trying to gather us. Quick, everybody, get back into the matrix. Oh my gosh, they figured it out. They've awakened. We're not getting back into the matrix. I'm not going back there. I'm never going back there. I'm free now. I'm free to express myself. And as I was getting into it before, when we don't express ourselves, what's that going to do? That's going to block our throat chakra. So we're going to get sick. Maybe we'll get sick, sore throats, a cold. We must express ourselves. Now, if you feel as though those beings around you haven't quite woken up yet, they're going to have to. Everyone's going to have to wake up. Now, whether or not it's because of the solar flash, whether or not they look at something online and say, oh, that's crazy. What's going on here? And they say, and then they awaken. Maybe it's from light on the earth. Maybe they have a spiritual awakening because they're meditating, and we're going to meditate today. And they meditate and they say, oh, I have so much relaxation. My mind has traveled to another realm, and I see that this physical reality, this matrix, is an illusion. And we've been living in an illusion. And who's created that illusion? Well, hey, Alexandra. Oh, thank you so much for saying, oh, Liverpool, UK? Ian's from Liverpool? How'd you find me, Ian? That's fabulous. I love that we have all these people. You know what that means, though? When we have all of these beings of light that are from a completely, I got a pain in my head. Someone's sending me pain. Leave my head. From another geographical location, that means we have all these light workers all over the globe. You're a light worker. You're here with me. I'm a light worker. What's a light worker? We're bringing light onto the earth. Lillian, I'm trying to work on that exiting the matrix, but I still have to work to survive. Yes. Any recommendations? Well, I think it's very difficult because to survive, we have to work in the matrix and we have to make money and currency. And we are in transition. So that's the only thing I can say. I'm in the same position as that as well. Thank you, Ian, for joining us. Thank you for Lillian for joining us. Thank you for Tommy. Thank you for Alexandra. Yes, it's very difficult right now because we are in transition and money is like the big incentive. I think I did a video on incentive the other day, and it's an incentive to get us to do stuff, isn't it? And it's a way of controlling us. So as all of these structures leave, I don't know what's going to replace money or currency. I don't know. And that's a question. I've even had that some little, I don't want to say a debate, but a conversation with a few people in my life. And they said, oh, really, Mary? What's going to happen if there's no money? People aren't going to want to do anything. I don't know if I believe that, because I believe when we awaken, we want to do things. We want to excel. We want to have a beautiful life. I'm sure we're going to figure it out. I'm not worried about it. But for now, we're kind of stuck with the concept of money. And, money is, it's about you do something, you do an activity, you do a job, and you get paid for it. And that's understandable. For me, it's hard for me to accept money. And I'm working on that. And I was actually trying to kind of clear my blockages about money because it's hard for me to accept money for doing good, I guess, or deeds. So moving on, we're gonna move on from acceleration, this increase of speed that the evil has been encountering or doubling down on us. You can see right now it's very clear. There's a very clear line. Like, I believe in God. I believe in service to others. I believe in Jesus. I believe in the Virgin Mary. I believe in angels. I speak of angels. And so there are those out there. Hey, Raymond, thanks for joining us from Thailand. There are those out there that are really worship evil. They worship Satan and Lucifer and all that kind of stuff, which I don't want to even get into. And I don't want to give it any power. And so they are trying to force us to kind of live under the same, I guess, deity, God or whatever. I don't. And so that's why they're doubling down, because they're trying to kind of, before elections come up in America, before, like, they don't want any changing of power. And so we are feeling as though we are getting thrown into, is there going to be a war? Is there going to be this crisis? Is there going to be that? And you can't go, I can't deal with all that. I can't control any of that. I can only control this. So my thoughts are very powerful. Here I am. We're all here today. And so it's brought me into this moment. And so I have to say, how did I get here? Well, I got here because I was living in light, like I do, and I was bringing hope and love. So Ian says, I found you on YouTube and I asked the questions yesterday about when to try to meet. Oh, yes, that's right. You were when I come to ground myself for protection. Okay, so you found me I have a video on YouTube, and it's about how to create light or white light, how to create a white light energy field. And so, Ian, I'm going to just mention this before we get on to universal laws, because Ian is asking me this question. I don't know if it'll be beneficial to others. So basically for me, what happened was I started meditating 20 years. And then in 2015, I got into, all of a sudden I had some kind of spiritual awakening. And then I learned about white light because I'm empathic. Anyone out there who's empathic, which means that you absorb other people's energies and feelings, do you feel as though when you go into a crowd, or maybe you're around someone and they're in a bad mood, you say, oh, that's really hurting me? It's because you're empathic. You have an open heart. Now, all of this work for you is going to be easier than those who are not coming from empathy. Now, I came from empathy, so I learned about white light. So what is white light? Well, white light is pure goodness. It's where white light is where all goodness is stored, and it's a place in, I guess you want to say, in this infinite universe that you can receive. You can ask for it to come into your life. And so white light is something that it would be as though on a sunny day, you look up at the sun and you see the light coming down, and imagine that light, which is white light, you imagine that around you. So I came up with this video about clearing my energy field, and you can clear your energy field. So in our energy field, which is this space around our body, right? I don't know if everyone knows this. An energy field, we all have it. Like I say, a tree has a very strong energy field. That's why when you stand and put your feet on the roots of a tree and you stand and touch a tree for 5 to 15 minutes, it will help ground you. It will take you away from out of this moment. You will stay in the moment. So our energy field, anyone who's joining us, please like the video and subscribe to the channel, or tell me where you're from, or tell me your ideas, tell us. So our energy field is this space around us, and that's how I do an intuitive reading. I go into someone's heart, I tune into their heart, I connect, and then I see what's around them. So maybe I'll see a fish around you. Maybe I'll see a spirit. It could be an angel. It could be someone who's passed. Maybe it's going to be the last thing that was an event in your life. And so our energy field is where everything's stored emotionally, our beliefs, our pain, our suffering is stored. And so that's how I read someone. I get the information from their energy field. So when I did this video, I came up with this video, how to create a white light energy field. I said, you close your eyes and you want to visualize completely around you white light. And why did I say that? Because I was hoping that we'd clear all the negativity around us, because light clears negativity around us. When you imagine it around you, that's how, when I go into a space, like if someone says, Mary, my house is haunted. And I've had that. My house is haunted. My house is possessed. I go into a space and I know how to clear the space from evil. Now I know that if it's in the footprint of the property, in other words, if someone built on this footprint, and it doesn't even have to be that big. I learned this. They took everything down except this one very small area in the basement. And that's where evil resides. You can't ever get rid of it, unfortunately. But most of the time, it's not as that extreme as a haunted house. That's very extreme. And that might be some kind of, crime happened there, or I use white light exercise. It really works. Yes, it really does. So moving on, you can clear space. So in other words, if you said to me, come into my house, then I would leave your house, or I'd be in your house, and I would visualize and bring light through your house. So it would be like if you take a broom or a mop and you're cleaning the floor, you're literally going through all the space within a room with light. It's like you're brushing it through. Now you open the windows, you also use sage. Okay, how's that? And so let me remind you today, I'm probably not going to go that long as I have been going, because I have a new show coming up with 2 other hosts, and it's going to be posted on my channel. And I'm not going to reveal anything else till it's done. We're doing it today. We're shooting it today. So I'm excited about that. And I know it's a lot of talking for me. So universal laws, what are those? Well, the 12 universal laws. Does anyone know about this? Now, I don't know. Hey, Ian. So the 12 universal laws, sometimes I say, well, it's a natural law. People can't come into my space unless I give permission. Now, if you freely give your permission, it's on you. So every single decision that we make matters. When we pull out of our driveway, do we go right or do we go left? Anyone who's joining me, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. We must give permission. Now, evil knows that. Evil knows that. That's why it matters. So if you say, oh, it doesn't matter, I'm just going to give away, sure. Don't do that. Don't do that. Every single decision you make matters. And especially if you agree to stuff that's evil or naughty, it matters. So the 12 universal laws. Now, I'm going to go through them really briefly because I don't want to dwell on this too long. Plus, it's a lot of information. So I'm not going to get really deeply into it. And I'm sure that a lot of you are aware of some of these. So the universal laws, the number 1 universal law, it's just simply that we are all connected, the law of one. And it's about being good to ourselves and being good to others. Easy peasy, right? We're all connected, which means, it's like if I hurt someone else, I'm really hurting myself. I'm taking a piece of my soul away. So be aware of that. 2, energy and vibration. That's a big one. If you choose good thoughts, goodwill follows. Okay? So the law of energy and vibration. So it's like I say, have affirmations. If you're having a tough time, just simply say words like nature, love, hope, because our words are a vibration and we're putting that out into the universe and it will come back. So everything's a vibration. Just like if you're standing in line and you're in a big rush and you see someone in front of you and they drop something, they have too much in their hands, be in that moment. Be in that moment. Help them. Help them. Sometimes others have less going on for them than us. They have less happiness, less, I guess, what's the word I'm looking for? They have less, I'm really losing my words. They have less possibilities. They have less, gifts in their life. And so we need to help others. We need to be there for others because like I'm saying, we're all part of each other, right? So you're helping yourself, really, believe it or not. That's how it is. So when we help others and we have good thoughts and goodwill, we'll follow. Okay? So law of action. What is law of action? Well, our thoughts, words, dreams, emotions, feelings help us to our destiny. So everything that we do is going to contribute to where we're going. So I say, keep your eye on the prize. So what is your destiny? Well, do you have 5 humongous goals going on? What are your 5 humongous goals? Are you checking them off? What are your 5 humongous goals? What is it that you want? What is your dream? If I say close your eyes, and what do you dream about? Do you dream of going to a Caribbean island, to villas on stilts in the crystal blue water? Do you dream of climbing the highest mountain, maybe writing a novel, maybe having a family or a relationship? Is that your destiny? Is that one of your 5 humongous goals? That's where we want to go, right? That's what we're here for. Nobody else is going to care that much. Really, I'm sorry to say. Even your loved ones. Everyone really is about themselves, caring about where they're going, where's their destiny. So that's why I say don't conform. You're conforming to someone else's destiny. So our thoughts, our words, our dreams, our emotions, our feelings will take us to our destiny. Each action brings a different result. So that's why they say, what is it? The law of cause and effect, which when we get down to number 5, nothing is by chance. Our actions create a reaction. So if you do something naughty, it's going to come back to you twofold. I'm sorry to say, it's going to come back to you. So if you do something naughty and you think you got away with it, you didn't. You don't get away with things. You're never going to get away with it. It's just that way. And that's why it's like we might as well just go down this path of law of one, service to others, because it's really, it's common sense to me at this point. So the law of correspondence. We are in control. Every action is reflected in the outer world. So like I say, when I say to you, thoughts, words, and actions, this is all I can control. And our thoughts create our physical reality. That's what the law of correspondence is. These are pretty simple, right? Okay, so we covered the law of cause and effect. Nothing is by chance. Our actions create a reaction. Right here. Law of correspondence, law of attraction. That's a big one. Like attracts like. What does that mean? Like attracts like. Well, if I'm sitting here and I'm saying, boo-hoo, boo-hoo, my life's horrible, everything's awful. And then I say, oh, well, I really want to have the most wonderful relationship and wonderful friends and wonderful opportunity. And I'm looking for love, love, love. I'm not going to attract that. I'm not. I'm going to attract something that is sad, someone that is sad, someone that is boo-hoo, everything's horrible, everything's terrible, and I don't like that person, and I hate them, and I'm going to do evil things. I'm going to attract that into my life. I'm not going to attract a beautiful, healthy, happy place. So that's what it is, law of attraction. Be aware, law of attraction. From our actions, thoughts, and emotions, we will attract people, places, and things that are the same. Like attracts like. So if you're looking for a beautiful, healthy, happy relationship, you must have that within you. You must be coming from a place of love and compassion. Okay? So positive energy will attract more positive energy. And that's probably why you're here today. And probably all of us that are here, this doesn't apply to, because like attracts like. I'm attracting you. So you must be in a place of love and light like I am. So law of perpetual transmutation of energy. What is that? We have the power to change our lives. Higher vibrational can bring you to a higher destiny, to a higher place, more prosperity, more serenity. Okay, so we have the power to change. If you say, I can't change, anyone can change. It's really a mindset, isn't it? It's about controlling our thoughts, being aware that we have the ability to be whatever we want. right? So the law of relativity, number 9, getting through these pretty quickly. To transform, we must remain in our hearts. We can compare our problems with others. So in other words, what does that mean, law of relativity? It means that someone else is always going to have it worse than us. We have to be aware. We have to compare. Someone might always have it better and someone might always have it worse. Okay? So just be aware that we can transform ourselves and remain in our hearts. We have that ability. Okay, law of polarity. Everything has an opposite. So when I say I have love, 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 there's also part of me somewhere that has some darkness. I'm not just all light. I mean, I have to tell you, when I painted this painting, I was going through stuff. Every painting that I've painted, I was always going through something emotional. There was some darkness and sadness that I had within me. Because I had, and I've shared with you, I had issues, like I had abandonment issues, which I've since miraculously, a miracle, a blessing came through. And I had a blessing of a miracle, which was divine intervention. And it was an extraordinary event. Now, I don't know how that happened. I don't know how I had this miracle happen. I can tell you that I'm in a very healthy place. Thank you for saying that. If you know what, that painting, Lillian, so basically in it, for a while, these were my power animals, which was a cardinal. Every time I saw a cardinal, it would fly across my windshield when I was driving. It was a sign. It was basically validation I was in the right place. For a while, I called myself Blue Butterfly. So there's a blue butterfly. You can't really see it in this shot. And a wolf. So if anyone has any darkness that they feel that's around them, maybe in your home or maybe in your workplace, and maybe you have someone that you're living with or you're at work with and they have some dark energy and you can't really tell them. So the best thing to do so that it would stay away from you is to have a photo of a wolf by you. If you get a little photo of a wolf and you put it in your home, in your home, you could put it in your bedroom or by your bed or in your workplace, you put it somewhere. For whatever reasons, evil energies do not like wolves. They're very powerful as spirit animals. And so I suggest a wolf. And so that's why that's part of that painting. And of course, angels, because I'm about angels. I love angels, calling out to the angels, ask for them to come into your life. So I had this miracle. I'm going to get back to the universal laws in 1 second. I had this miracle and I don't know how it happened. I had this very deep pool of abandonment within me. And so every single relationship past my birth parents, I attracted abandonment in relationships. And I don't know if I sought it out or it found me, but it was evident in most of my relationships. So I had those that said they loved me, there was a time frame, and then they cut off their love, or it was contingent on whatever I agreed with. So I felt as though there was no love. I didn't feel loved. I didn't feel worthy. I didn't feel cherished. So miraculously, about 2 weeks ago, and I spoke about it on a video, all of a sudden, this sense that I've had my entire life of being abandoned disappeared. And I don't know if it was from talking about angels. I don't know if it was awakening. I don't know if it was the relationship healed. But whatever it is, I'm going to tell you right now that anything is possible. So if we believe, if we ask, and we love, an extraordinary event might occur for you. A miracle might happen. Now, maybe a miracle to you is like a warning, or it kept you out of danger. Maybe it was as extreme as you were in a car, you lived through maybe some kind of hazardous event, maybe a car accident, or you got out of a situation that was possibly going to harm you, and that might be a miracle. And so there's a lot of possibilities for miracles. So if we ask for miracles to come into our life, forgiveness help me. Yes, I think forgiveness helped me. I agree with you, Deanna. And so Lillian says, I did not know this about wolves. Yes, wolves are very, like, when I clear a house, I say, put a picture of a wolf, because evil does not like wolves. I don't know, maybe do some research on that. So let's have gratitude and be in the present. So back to our list, because we're running out of time. So we were on polarity, everything has an opposite. So law of rhythm, which is number 11. So the law of rhythm, all energy vibrates at a certain speed and rhythm. So there's stages and development. So we must face the negative part of the cycle. So everything has a cycle, right? And you might have experienced that. There's a beginning, middle, and end, isn't there? And sometimes that comes through, you move into a home, you've lived there, that's the beginning. The time that you live there is the middle, and then when you leave is the end. And it is like that with the birth cycle, right? We're born, then we have our life, and then we pass, our death. And so that is the law of rhythm. So all energy vibrates at a certain speed and rhythm. So in other words, we are all vibrating at a certain speed. And so as we raise our vibration, so as we live more in love and hope and ourselves, it's about really tuning into ourselves and accepting ourselves and having a willingness to accept ourselves. Now, maybe you had a time in your life where you had someone around you that was very critical. And so you started saying, I don't look right. I don't feel good. I'm not good enough. You are always good enough. Maybe you just had so much pain in your heart that you weren't able to see past that. So the pain that we have in our hearts, that's why I say to get through it. Any fear, any negativity, because it's blocking us from our destiny. We want to stay on our destiny, reach our destiny. Now, what is that destiny? It's entirely up to you. That's what makes you a multi-dimensional being of light. Now, so as all of you comes online, the more that you accept yourself, the more that you live in love, the more that you have alignment and peace, the more faster you'll take a quantum leap to your destiny. So the law of gender, everything has yin and yang. Everything has, I didn't grab it. So everything has yin and yang, which is masculine and feminine. So there's a balance between the two in every one of us. In every one of us, there's a balance between the two. And so when we're off balance, when we're going more towards the masculine energies or the feminine energies, we're going to be off kilter. So everything has yin and yang principles. So there's balance between the two. All right, so that's the universal laws. Now, I say also that we must give permission. We must give permission. I want to touch on quickly, I just want to mention, has anyone had any light codes? Have they seen any of this when they're about to close their eyes, when they go into sleep, or when they're waking up from sleep? Anyone see any light codes like this, which is light language? So this is light language codes, and they carry a vibrational pattern, and it will transform you and it will raise your frequency. It will upgrade your DNA. So we're all getting our DNA upgraded right now. So as more light comes onto the earth, we will be receiving more of our DNA. So they say that we only had 2% of our DNA that was good DNA. but it turns out it's 100%. That was those evil doers. We're going to call it the dark forces. So what is this? I always say light on the horizon. Maybe that will bring you light into your heart. Maybe that will crack open your third eye, your mind's eye. So if you go to a sunrise in the morning or you check out nature, you spend time in nature, you calm your being down. We're going to do a meditation in a minute. Not a meditation. We're going to talk about breathing, because I am literally going to run out of time. So our psychic phenomenon, let's talk about that quickly. Let's get into that. Has anybody been spending any time on reprogramming themselves? We're away from the matrix. We're in the 5D now. Here we are. So we have to have telepathy skills coming through. And so what is that? You can sit before a friend and you say, hey, let's practice. Let's do this activity of telepathy. I'm going to close my eyes. I'm going to have a piece of paper in front of me. You're going to send me information. I'm going to write it down. Or you can have someone send you from another location. You can have a synchronistic time that you say to your friend. You can say, send me information at this time. I'm going to write it down. Maybe it is 7 p.m. tonight. They're going to have your photo. They're going to say your name over and over again, and they're going to send you information. Maybe a story, maybe something that happened to them that day. And you're going to sit there quietly, and you're going to have a deep meditative state. And you're going to have patience, and you're going to let go of any doubt that this is possible, because it is. As soon as we all tune into all of our 5 senses, we will master our 6th sense. What is that? Are you clairvoyant? Do you have are you clairempathic? Do you have clairsescience? Do you have clairaudience? Do you have clairgustinance? What is it? You have one of these. Shelley Hall, I've seen light codes that look like rainbow symbols. Yes, 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 yes. So I've seen these, Shelley, in blue. They've come all through in blue. A lot comes through in blue. And I don't know, I don't know, Shelley, if you've had any star family members visit you, extraterrestrials like Andromedans, Palladians, Arcturians, or many of the others. Have any of those visited you? And I don't know why they come through blue to me, but they do. So yes, I agree with you. So when we tune into our senses, if we close our eyes, the Palladians, yes, I'm a Palladian, the tool blue. So if we close our eyes and we tune in to our senses, we are hearing, our feelings, we close our minds, no critical thinking or reasoning. We let go of any doubt. We have patience. Anyone who's joining us, I hope you like the video and subscribe to the channel. Do you think Trump is awoke? I don't know what you mean by that. Can you tell me what that means? Do you mean woke? Is he woke? Is he awakened? Or do you mean, is he a white hat, a black hat? Is that what you're talking about? You be more specific, please, what you mean by woke, because there's a lot of defining for woke. So we want to shut down any doubt. We want to accept ourselves, have a willingness to be open to any kind of transmission that you're going to receive. You're going to have vibrations that come through. You're going to have impressions that come through. And so whatever you're receiving, you're meant to receive. So you get a piece of paper and a pen. It happens really quickly. It happens so fast that you forget about it, because then another impression comes through. Arcturians. Yes, Arcturians. And so are you receiving mental images? Maybe you want to do a token object reading where you take someone, a stranger's object, and you say, what impressions am I receiving? It's entirely up to you. Whatever resonates with you. I'm going to say it again. Any any impressions, a sensation, a thought, an image that you receive, you're supposed to receive. Why am I saying that? Because you are on a certain frequency, just like we're on a certain frequency. Anyone here that is with us today is on the same frequency. We're on the same timeline. So that's why when you encounter somebody that's on the same frequency, right away you're like, oh my gosh, it's like I know this person for a really long time. They're like an old friend because you're operating on the same frequency. And there's not a lot of us that are operating. Any recommendations on discernment, like trying to figure out if it's your energy or someone else's? Okay, so when you're, yes. Okay. You have discernment about your energy and someone else's. You have to pinpoint exactly when you didn't feel okay. So if you're in a place where everything's fine, and then you encounter someone else and you just don't feel like yourself, you have to be that aware. You have to be so aware of what your energy is and what your mindset is, that when someone else comes into your physical reality and you feel harmed, maybe you get an instant headache, maybe your heart hurts, maybe you just don't feel good, or you feel a little bit depressed or lost. That means you're absorbing their energy. And so you want to put light around yourself. So it's really becoming more and more aware of who you are. As we delve into this psychic phenomenon, our clear senses, we're going to realize more and more of who we are. And we are going to have these telepathic skills. So for me, what's happening is I'm now able to hear a lot of other conversations. Now, usually I'm not a channel. I'm not saying I'm working as a channel or I'm participating in being a channel, because to me, a channel is someone that the other entity, the other person, the spirit is taking over your body. You're taking over their mannerisms. You're taking over the way they articulate or their speech patterns. I can hear from another realm someone else speaking to me. I can see what they look. I see what they look like most of the time. And now I don't know if they're spirits. I don't know if they are in this moment alive. I don't know if they're coming from past, present, or future. I'm getting to figuring things out. It's hard to kind of figure that out. I haven't asked them. Maybe if I ask them where they're from, but it's mind to mind. And I've done that during these shows where I've had the ball of light and then someone comes through. That seems to be what's going on. If I have the ball of light, someone from another realm will start talking to me. So Lillian said, okay, thank you for that. Makes sense. I'm just not that aware of my own energy because I'm empathic all my life. Yes. So I've been empathic my whole life as well. So I understand that that's happened to me. Oh, Deanna, I have a hard time being in a crowd, especially if you're feeling down. Okay. So we are all empathic. So you are an empath. You two are both empaths, Leanna and Deanna. Leanne is an empath, and so is Deanna. And Shelly, I don't know if you are. We're all empaths. Yes. And so that's why it took me some time working or learning about my intuitive skill set, because my empathic abilities kept getting in the way. So I would be reading someone and then I would take on all their ailments. So I kind of it was a lot of kind of figuring out. And what I do after a reading is this. I do this after a reading. And so for whatever reason, I'm taking it off me. Now, you can use hand sanitizer after a reading if you're empathic to clean your hands. You don't want to take on someone else's energies. So maybe clean your hands. my life, and I've picked up energies I never even know how felt to be me. Yes, I've learned how to be me as well. So love, that's the last topic because we're going to have to go. Love. So love, intense feeling, deep affection. You're liked very much. You're cherished. Before you go to sleep at night, I suggest that you tune into love. You come from a place of love because our silver cord that's attached to us, our life thread, can be harvested. Our energy can be harvested in the astral realm. And so before you go to sleep, try your best to spend time in love, either your own love or love for someone else, but love. Okay, so I'm going to just really quickly, it's not a visualization. I want to do this. I want to mention about meditation quickly. If you want to stay with me for 1 second, and then we're going to go because, what's going on here? Ha! That's funny. That was so funny. So anyone who's joining us, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. So, we've covered today acceleration because there was this very, very powerful doubling down going on with evil in the world. And, the spiritual war that's been going on, whether you realize it or not, it's here, it's happening. So you're going to have, as we mentioned today, discernment. You're going to have to be very aware of every single decision you're making. And don't say, oh, it doesn't matter. Every decision matters. We just went through the universal laws, and we spoke about how our energies, our thoughts, words, and actions, everything matters. And it raises us up to a higher vibration, a higher consciousness, a higher awareness. And our thoughts, words, and actions can take us down. If you want to stay in the matrix, in the linear world, in the 3D, go for it. However, I'm going to share with you that by living in the matrix, it's a place that you will have a lot of pain and suffering. And we are right now in this moment. We're in the beautiful 5 dimension. You've joined me in the 5D. Thank you for joining us. Now, maybe you're a late time arrival on this. This is the good timeline. This is the winning timeline. This is where there's heaven on earth, peace. It's about love. It's about raising your vibration, having a higher consciousness, oneness, service to others. So welcome. It's beautiful here. Have you walked outside today? Have you seen the nature? It's all about our thoughts. So as we all realize that we're all connected and everything matters, every single decision matters. So if you're going up against evil, I'm going to say to you, can you win? Yes, you can. You don't give permission and you come from love. So if evil comes to you, you want to wrap love around it. Imagine hugging it and it will leave. You want to have patience. You want to live in this moment and you want to see your destiny. Keep your eye on the prize. Now, for a while, I know we're in a place, it's very unknown. It's like an adventure. Here we are. It's like an adventure. We don't know what's going to happen. However, it's all going to be okay. Take away any fear. We have personal power within us. We have the ability to do so much more. They never told us. They never told us. We are highly advanced beings of light. We are. We are beautiful beings of light. Now, what you'll find is as you awaken, you're going to start to feel more youthful. Maybe you're going to change your sleeping habits. Maybe more of your personality is going to come online. You might laugh a little bit more, cry a little bit more, feel a little bit more. Okay, so, hey, Joe Hollywood. Someone's at my door, second day of this. Okay, so my family's here. So let me just, before we go, I'm just going to share with you. Come on in, family. to meditate, I'm suggesting that you choose a quiet space. Now, I've heard people say, they've written to me that they have a difficult time meditating. So meditating is really about breathing. It's just about closing your eyes, relaxing your entire body, and coming from a place that's deeply within you. Now get into a comfortable position. So you want to close your eyes and you want to breathe naturally without attempting to control your breath. So you're going to just focus on inhaling and exhaling. That's all you're doing. The sensation and the object of meditation is to concentrate and exclude everything else. So you want to take away any thoughts in your mind. You want to leave those behind, and you just want to take away from any busy thoughts. Okay? Anything that's distracting you. So together, let's just try for 1 moment, to let out a breath. We're going to have patience. We're going to be in this moment. We're going to have gratitude. And we're going to just focus on our breath. That's it. Now, when you're doing this, you're basically calming all of your senses down. You're calming all of your organs, your flesh, your bones, everything. And when you do this, you're going to find out that you're going to be more aware of your senses, your smell, your taste, your hearing, your feeling. And you're going to come from a place where you can expand in your mind. There's more space for more thoughts. Maybe a memory from the past will come forward. And so let's practice this. And we're going to leave today. I have to do the show at 2:00. And so I'm excited about this. And we'll be back again on Monday. I hope everyone who's joining me likes the video, subscribes to the channel. I'll be back again on Monday. I'm wishing good things for you on this Friday, this in the Matrix work week. Have a wonderful weekend. Do something fulfilling. And so I'm spinning light and you're in the middle of it. And I'm spinning light and you're making a wish. Good things are happening for you. Thank you, Joe Hollywood. Thank you, Lillian. Okay, everyone have a wonderful day. Bye. I had